Thanks, Steph. I was thinking as you were describing thickening, this process where an emerging story, an emerging reality gets to feel more real and thicker, and you're doing this project feels like it's part of thickening, that for you and for Emilie as well. I just wanted to say about Emilie. There was a moment I was in the foyer here at the school, and I think Emilie, you were just coming back from the trip to Moncton, and I tell you, the energy in that room when she when she walked in after, I think she would have opened the doors for that school right there on the spot if she had the opportunity. So, and it's very infectious. So I'm delighted to hear what you have to share with us.
Hey, I could just hide behind the book. Moment's short enough. Hey guys. Like Stephanie said, we plan on opening up this home for teens who are struggling with mental illness. I'm going to speak really loud. Okay. And so this idea came out of a conversation we had a long time ago about how there's just this void of facilities for people who really just want to better themselves. And our push and drive for this came out of each other. Both of us has struggled with our own personal demons and gone through that, and we've been really generous blessed, fortunate to be able to go through that here in this community. And this community really was there for us in all of the times, even when it got really ugly, they were still there. And so we want to incorporate that idea and bring it into something that's more focused towards mental health. And so the different things that I looked into were different types of community therapy that are really great. And the best definition I found of community was a group of people who had a common goal, whether it be religion, faith, education, political views, whatever. And so our project has the common goal of creating a better life for oneself and just being able to own who they are and accept their little battles and be that's part of who I am, but it's not all of who I am. And I can get through it. And one really cool thing that I read about was adventure therapy, and it's something we really want to incorporate, and it's taking them whale watching and making memories. And when adventure therapy was added to the community-based programs too, it encouraged the youth to participate more in all of the other programs, because they're they're doing fun things, so we can participate in the other programs as well, and in the community therapy sessions and everything. They just had more interest in bettering themselves because the community was giving them fun things to look forward to, kind of thing. And another cool thing that community can incorporate is teen parents. And teens, teen moms struggle with depression a lot. And Julie Quinlivan, I think that's how you say her last name, I'm not really sure. She suggested that teenage mothers who are struggling with depression, their depression severity varies on the community that surrounds them. And so in allowing mothers to come, we could teach them it's okay. And what we would want to do is I would hope to be able to hire a couple babysitters, so that the parents could be involved with their children, but they would never be responsible for their children because they're there to be selfishly engaged on their own mental health. But they can still engage with their child and have the life-giving things that their child gives them, but not be stressed out about it. And all of these things we want to incorporate into the home, because one of the biggest things that is hurting mental illness is the lack of knowledge around it. There's stigma that surrounds mental illness because people have all these different ideologies about mental illness, like that they don't shower and that they just don't care about things, and like, you know, like just misconceptions that people don't understand. And in educating people about this, we can try to reduce the stigma and help people just kind of live with it, because depression's not going to go away. Like, sometimes you're fortunate and it does go away, but other times you just need to be able to like learn to live with it. And so the two different facilities that I talked to was Portage Atlantic, which is a rehab facility in Sussex that attends to adolescents specifically. And before talking to them, like, we really focused on just having like girls. But after talking to Tambry, which is the lady I talked to at Portage, she said that if you have a facility that can accommodate like splitting them up, it's really easy to have co-ed, because our biggest reason for not having co-ed was because we really don't want there to be relationships at this home. Like, you're coming to deal with yourself. Like, I don't care if you're like, you guys showed up dating. You're not dating while you're here. Sorry. So, but if we could find like facilities that could accommodate for that, it would be good. And so, like, talking to her, I got a lot of those little informations that like I hadn't really thought about, and like a screening process would be really good, because like we are a home who's intending to help individuals who are struggling with mental illness, but I mean, if you're coming and you're like an unmedicated schizophrenic, we don't have the facilities to support you, and like that would be wrong for us to include you into our community for like other community members and for yourself. So like so a screening process for those kinds of things, and then also thinking about what kinds of medications will allow the students to come into the home with, and like those were really important things that I got to think about with Tambry. And she also like brought up the fact that like funding is something that's really hard, and like that's something that I knew, but it's gonna be hard to like get through that, but it's okay. We'll have the drive to get through it. And then the other organization I talked to was Harvest House. And Harvest House is a community-based drug and rehab facilities for everyone, basically. And they're really cool because, so Cal Masquerade? Yeah, started this facility because he viewed, like, while he was in prison, he was going to like the prison chapels, and he saw that there was this great community vibe, and he was like, why isn't this out in other places? So he saw the need of needing to open up a rehab facility with community as a foundation because of how life-giving it is. And meeting with him was awesome because he just got funding through this girl. Like, they've got this girl who's like, her job is strictly getting funding for them, and he said that when we opened up the home that we had to call him, and whatever we needed, he'd hook us up, and like he'd get us in contact with her, and like he'd do whatever he could to help us. So that was also really cool. And then another thing we've been thinking about for our facility is the location. So we want to keep having it in small towns, like towns that, you know, like are beautiful but don't really have a whole lot going, but are still close to areas that you can take the students to do things. So like having it in St. Stephen would be cool because you could take them whale watching. It's 20 minutes away. You know, like those kinds of things are really great. And like the facility itself, if we want to do co-ed, we'd have to have a structure that could like have like different floors, so we could have like a boys floor or a girls floor, or like different wings to separate them well. And we'll have to have like adequate rooms and bathrooms, and like areas, like classroom areas for our meetings, and like common spaces, so like the community vibes can really get flowing and those kinds of things. So and in meeting with all these things, we really got to get all kinds of information to like really get excited about opening up this home. And like I'm so excited to open up this home, like I feel guilty that I'm taking a year off this year, but I mean, it's okay. We'll do it. That's all we got. I'll open it up for discussion if you guys have things to ask.
Do you see it as being, I'm just trying to see your vision, so is it like a long-term facility that people are in like their entire lives and you create a community, or is it like short-term? And if it is short-term, like what do you see as being the term? And have you thought at all about how you like maintain the community throughout those transitions? So like if it's an 8-week program and somebody's 8-week ends on somebody else's 2-week, like have you thought at all about how you're going to?
Yeah, it's not gonna be a program, because like, oh yeah, I wanted to talk about that. It's really not gonna be a facility that you're gonna show up, get a pill, and you're cured when you go home. It's a facility where you come and you get to learn about your depression, learn healthy coping mechanisms, and learn like how to love yourself, and learn to accept love, and learn to to love others again, like those little things that you need. And we're not gonna have, so because we're not having a program, like it's just open all summer. Like if you come and you only want to stay for 2 nights, you're only staying for 2 nights, and like I guess that's all we could help you for. But if you want to stay for the whole summer, you can definitely stay for the whole summer, and like you can come back every year. And like for now, it's just gonna be a summer home because like that's what it is. But like I mean, who knows? It might turn into a 24/7 facility that we have all year long. This is just where we're gonna start it, and we don't really know.
So like from what you're saying, it kind of is like, this is like planting a seed kind of, right? Like if someone leaves, like at least they heard something. Would you consider, or like have you guys planned it all for any material or something that people could get if they leave, or if like for after, so it's like if they only had a week there, but you think like this actually might be beneficial, but they're not physically in this place, to have something, I don't know, like not course material, but you know, kind of what I mean.
That's not something we've thought about, but it's definitely something we look into.
And I think being open to like follow up and like making sure that they know that like, even if they don't decide to stay, they can get in touch with us and email back and forth with us. Like it's not just like it'd be like the same thing throughout the school year. Like if you need to get in touch with us because you need someone to talk to, then get in touch with us.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the internship. But the internship only kind of works if I have it at SSU. But like, so I want to have an internship correlated with SSU, where 4th year psychology students could like take one less credit for the year, their senior year, and then like after they graduate, they could come work with us for the summer and like intern, and like they could get accredited for it and whatever. I haven't like fully discussed that with the school yet. But yeah, and so like, and then that would be really great because like that's something really cool to be able to put on your resume, and then I wouldn't have to pay them, and then win-win for everybody.
I'm kind of just wondering, like, it obviously sounds fantastic, but what kind of staffing are you going to have? Because if you're having so many of these different segments, like it seems to me you're going to need like qualified therapists and like people to watch these kids because they can't be alone. You'll need to have nurses distributing all this stuff and like all of these licenses and things. And like, I think that's where it just gets super convoluted.
For sure, and like we're not going to open up this home until both of us are like fully credited in the fields we want to go in. And like I want to be a principal, so like I'm going to have like the business and administrative credentials, so like I'll be able to like go forth with all of those things. And then Steph's going to have the psychology degree, and like for their other staff, like we'll look for other individuals that are like just as equipped and whatever. And are you a psychologist or the other one?
Psychologist.
Okay.
But then, like, do you have in mind already the other kind of staff members that you would need?
Not 100% yet, but
I had an interview with Leland Myers, and he like explained to me that in my process of going through school, it's like when I can like reach out and look for mentors and like find people that share the same values as we do, and introduce them to the idea, and then see where that goes for us. But it's it's not something that we've really thought about a whole lot because it's not
Yeah.
Right now
Yeah.
problem.
I wonder if you were mentioning that some of the students, or not students, I'm used to students, some of those that come in the doors would be free to come and go, like maybe they're only supposed to be there for a few days and see what they can and then move. Or I wonder if there would be a core group though, that like probably yourself and Stephanie, maybe is there a certain number that you think would be needed to have enough life there that people could feel like they kind of came into a hive and then were able to return and fly around and all that you would be there if they wanted to return, for instance?
Yeah, definitely. Like, there will definitely be a couple core staff members that will be there for the whole summer, and like familiar faces and like stability kind of, and so like that the students will be able to come in and be like, oh hey, like I talked to you last time I was here, like you remember me, like can we continue, like kind of thing, and like we'll really try to keep those things to be able to keep going. Yeah, for sure. Did you still have something, Tim?
I can ask a question.
You had raised your hand.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't know if you mentioned it or not. You might have mentioned it, completely went over. But I know that you said that you were hoping to work as a principal so you could have those administration abilities and those kinds of things. Do you guys have a potential for like when you're hoping, like let's say in 5 years we're hoping to get this established, or are you guys?
I don't think we've got our plan set out yet, because like I still have 2 degrees to get, and Steph still has a degree to get, and you know, like we like probably 5 to 10 years, but
more like a 10-year plan.
probably not a 10-year plan. Yeah.
Okay.
How did these other examples that you gave, Harvest House and the other one, yeah, Portage, how did they begin? What's their story?
So Cal opened up his because he saw the need of like needing a facility of community-based therapy, so that's why he opened up his home. And then Portage Atlantic actually started in Quebec. And it started because of the heroin crisis that was an epidemic in Quebec, and so they opened up this rehab facility to help that, and then it just kind of turned into what it is now.
So did either of them start with the summer model that you're imagining?
Oh no, like they're a year-round model. Yeah. We're just doing summer model because like we're focusing on children who are in school, and we really don't want to disrupt their schooling.
Right.
And like, oh yeah, and like we also want to try to get accredited, so like if the students, so like if they're behind in school, they could maybe take like a class over the summer, like just one class, not to like overwhelm them with school, but like one class over the summer might be okay, like if they were staying for the whole summer or something. So like that's also something we're looking into. But yeah, that's the reason we're doing it in the summer, just so it doesn't disrupt their school. And then like if the individual didn't want to tell their friends where they went, they could be like, oh, I went to Aunt Judy's for the summer, you know, like it wouldn't but if you miss a whole bunch of school, like you usually have to make up some kind of excuse for it, but just that they wouldn't have to. Yeah.
Okay, just to feed off of that, so if people wanted to remain quiet about the summertime, what would you do about the influence of social media?
Yeah, so we're planning, like if we have a facility, we're planning on like monitoring, like blocking a lot of social media sites. And like, let's say an individual can only talk to their family on Facebook, like there will be like a computer in the facility that can access Facebook that'll be like monitored Facebook time, because like we really, I don't know, like if especially if the students are being bullied that are coming, like they just don't need it, like, but like we're gonna let them talk to we'll probably have, like this is also something we need to look into, but like we might look into like having a list of members that they can actually contact, because like Portage has a list like that, like you can only while you're at Portage, like there are only certain people that you can call and kind of things, like we might have that kind of list or something. I don't know, we haven't fully looked into it, but we really have thought about like cutting social media out of the home because it's just destructive.
I very briefly worked at a kind of women's home that's a similar model, and I'm just giving you an idea. But I think when you come into the home, because it's voluntary, you sign basically a confidentiality. You're protecting the, other people in the home, so you can't be talking about who's there, where you are. Anyway, and then, they had limited social media time, but it wasn't like taken away from them necessarily. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh, yeah, I'm done.
Well, some people see a sense of possibility. What a gift to be able to see that way. So thank you for that. I was asking Lorna because I knew the name Cal Maskery is a familiar one, and I don't know if he mentioned to you that he was here for a summer institute back in the day.
Yes, no, I didn't mention that. I forgot, but he had told me that he took a ministry course here.
Yeah. So always fun to see the connections like that come around. So thank you very much to Steph and Emily for getting us started this morning. We have some time now to take a break after lunch. Oh, who confidently knows the start time?
1:30.
It's 1:30?
Yeah.
1:30.
Okay. 1:30, we have a more diverse afternoon. We have a couple more senior research projects, and we get to hear some of the research that Kendall has been engaged in over some of the past few years. So some very special things this afternoon. So don't get lost over lunch. Look forward to seeing you back at 1:30.